Today's a big day. You guys might not probably know why. We hit 10,000 subscribers. So, I've been thinking for my 10,000 subscriber special, I'm going to play 38 garbage games. Just for you guys. Thank you all so much. But what classifies as garbage? Well, time to find out. Some people can be really stupid. For example, CS 2011, here comes T-Pain with his own microphone that could make you sound exactly like him!
Like a little bit like this.
But sadly, even video game developers can be really fucking stupid. Ever wanted to play Wario Saves McDonald's? Who said no? Oh no, McDonald's is gone! Now I can't get my beefy Big Mac. That's one way to bring up a portal. Well, why don't we just walk into it? I'm sure it'll be fine. It's gonna take a while to drive me away from you! It's something 100 pounds I can ever do! I was raised on Africa! Some of these games are classified as shovelware. Bottom of the bin, stinkiest of the bunch, the worst shit you'll ever pull out of the fucking toilet. Games like these could either be mediocre or they could suck balls. That's why today, we're going over 38 shovelware games that I have no idea how they'll turn out. Some of them could be good or bad, all good or all fucking atrocious. So why don't we start with the PlayStation and London Racer for the PS1. 10,000 subscribers, everybody. London Racer is a racing game for the PS1 developed and published by Davalex. It was released on September 29th, 2000. This game was the first game of the London Racer franchise and another game in Davalex's long list of terrible shit. Davalex was a developer located in Houghton, the Netherlands, and founded in 1997. It was shut down in 2005 cause horrendous game after horrendous game. First off, the opening cutscene is very misleading as this is from the PC version. So they basically showed another version of the game instead of what the PS1 version really is. And what is the PS1 version like? The PS1 version is like shit. Many typos throughout the game, such as race menu. Please enter your name. I'm gonna name myself DD Jick. Okay, so you choose between 6 cars and 8 tracks, with most of the cars being fake as fuck. And starting up the game, immediately we get terrible draw distance and oh god. Oh god! What is this frame rate? What is with these glitches? What are these textures? The frame rate constantly fights with you and goes at 10 FPS. Glitches pop up all over the place, and the textures look like somebody just smeared dirt onto a car and called it a masterpiece. The detection of this game is fucking atrocious as well. But oh boy, what about this damage bar? If you get hit a number of times, black smoke will appear out of the back of your vehicle and block your point of view, leaving you with no time to react to what's in front of you. The AI is also horrible, as the only person that gets stopped by the police is you. And the fucking police siren. The sound will be in your sleep every goddamn night while listening to it. And worse, any damage you get from the previous track will go onwards to the next one unless if you fix your car. This flaw is tedious and makes the game hard as fuck, even if you're playing on easy. Ah, the Mary Kay and Ashley games. Most of them, if not all of them, were published by Acclaim under their Club Acclaim label and developed by either Tantalus Media or N-Space. This specific one was developed by Tantalus. This game was released on March 5th, 2001 for the PS1 and Game Boy Color. You can customize your rider, make your own horse, groom him, all that shit. The main game, the cups. Fucking no. The cups are nothing more than a bunch of mini-games. The mini-games range from match the set of colors seen on the line and do it when you hit the gray ones, go through checkpoint flags, then reach the goal, and finally jump over fences to the finish line. Each minigame controls like shit, such as press the up button on the D-pad to switch, trot, gallop, etc. Then there's the adventure mode. Collect red hearts with yellow ribbons, each one being 5 to total 50. Woohoo! This is fun! 10 out of 10! Glad we got that covered.
Well, what is our next one? Fuck!
Phoenix Games, the center of notoriety for any PS1 or PS2. This whole video could be comprised of Phoenix Games, but I'm only gonna focus on one of their shit shows, All-Star Water Sports. Developed by VRGFX and released on March 14th, 2003, this game comprises of 4 water sports: surfing, bodyboarding, windsurfing, and jet watercrafting. Ah, nice. Only start, game, and options. Okay, let's try out surfing.
Oh god, I made a terrible mistake.
First of all, the graphics look terrible. So how do I get onto the wave? And it teleported me back. Wonderful. Well, let's try out the competition mode. In this mode, you have to get the biggest air with the controls being stiff. And you have to watch each computer player go as you wait for your next turn. Well, maybe the other sports will turn out better than that. It's the same fucking thing! Every one of them is the same thing. If you made your game be the same every sport I select, then why should I bother playing your piece of shit game? 007 Racing is a racing game that is a spin-off of the 007 video game franchise by electronic assholes. The game was developed by Eutechnics, the same company that also made Ride to Hell Retribution. The game stars the likeness of Pierce Brosnan, whom is actually voiced by Tim Bentonick, known for the BBC Radio 4 series The Archers. The game was released on November 20th, 2000 for the PS1, and would you know it, it's complete trash just like every other game on Eutechnics' shit shelf. Oh yeah, advanced game science, my ass. Oh, this music. I already hate it. Now that's a start screen if I've ever seen one. Logo, black background, it's got everything checked. Let's do some missions. So, in this game, you take control of 007, obviously, and the wheel of cars from the films that definitely do not look like Lego bricks, such as the Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger, the Lotus Esprit from The Spy Who Loved Me, and For Your Eyes Only, and the BMW Z8 that only appeared for one segment in The World Is Not Enough. 1,400 hours. We got all week to finish this mission. That door does not look okay. Neither does this whole game. Oh, the controls. Oh, the handling is fucking horrendous. You turn as slowly as a 10-ounce truck.
Need to use your rockets, 007. Aim carefully and fire to clear your path.
Is that John fucking Cleese? Why would he do this? The aiming is also very slow, and the rockets you have are the only way of clearing the stage, as the M-gun sucks dick. So you have a 90% chance of hitting somebody you shouldn't hit. Alright, well, let's just clear this mission. How was I able to see that helicopter? Wait, what? The second mission has you collecting transmissions within a specific time limit that constantly fights you every step of the way. I died more times in this mission than the first one. And as for the third mission, I didn't even bother. Next one. Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a show that aired in the 90s and was created by Nell Scovell. The series was based off of Archie Comics' comic book series of the same name, created by Dan DeCarlo and George Gladur. And of course, as any major trend happening with television at the time, it got into merchandise, especially video games. All of the video games were handled by Knowledge Adventure, a branch of Simon & Schuster Interactive and Havas Interactive. Yes, that Knowledge Adventure. the ones who made Jumpstart. A Twitch in Time was developed by Asylum Entertainment, known for not even having a Wikipedia article. What the fuck am I playing? The Sound of Silence, the game? The game begins with things floating, a talking cat coming out of a zipper portal, and shit lip syncing. I just started the game and I'm already confused.
I don't believe this.
Ah, that happened again. It's not like I'll summon evil just by doing this. Then why was that clock there to begin with? Oh great! Now you've summoned a mechanical beast, you fucking piece of shit. I wonder where I've seen that before. And we introduce you to Fashion Diva number 10,000. We made up this number on the spot because we don't give a shit. So this is the hub world. 2 guesses what this is familiar with? Another game added to the list of Crash ripoffs. Oh boy. Sabrina runs like she's jogging the fucking marathon with a stick and a cane. You send out spells with the square button as an attack, which looks like you're just throwing dust. Spells can be added to your inventory by picking up spell books, and you can get more costumes by picking up Spyro's currency. There are 4 worlds you go through: prehistoric times, Egypt, ancient Japan, and the Wild Wild West. At the end of each world, there's a boss. These bosses range from a goblin, goat man, a samurai, and guy with cane. These all lead up to the mechanical beast Chaos. Some of the pieces of the cosmic clock hide in secret rooms that's only accessible by using the correct costume with the correct gate, or finding a specific item in another time in order to reach the piece. So how does this game end? Once you defeat Chaos by playing a game of cat, mouse, and elephant, you get forced to clean up your room, and the cat begs for fucking dinner.
My room?
Cool. Shrek Treasure Hunt is a game developed by the Code Monkeys and published by TDK Media Active. You'll hear more from these two. The game was released on October 18th, 2002, when the PS2 was only 2 years old, and it was the only Shrek game on the PS1. That image. Beautiful. The story is presented in a book. Shrek, trademark, is planning a special picnic for Princess Fiona, trademark, ... But all the picnic items have gone missing! The items must be in the swamp somewhere! Use the swamp map to help Shrek, trademark, locate and collect them all before Princess Fiona, trademark, arrives. Look at this loading screen. That bug in the corner says everything. This is the game, everybody. This is the game. What am I even playing? First off, the graphics. They're jittery, and sometimes don't even match the textures. Text does not usually go like this. Shrek even looks unrecognizable. Is this even Shrek? Who are you? Also, this is Shrek's swamp? This looks nothing like it. The camera angle is pointed down at Shrek, meaning you would have no time to react to anything in front or behind you. What makes it even worse is the draw distance, as you can't see anything until it comes into clear view. Also, the music sounds like every crappy children's PS1 license game ever. Minigame unlocked? Play minigame? No. You collect a specific number of items to unlock a minigame, which doesn't even resemble the title. Play a game of Simon Says, do platforming, fishing, make a minigame compilation. Who gives a shit? If you win the minigame, Shrek makes a snake balloon. And if you lose the minigame, Shrek gets killed by a fucking boulder. Complete the game and you get a scene of Shrek and Fiona eating their special picnic. The end, and the game resets. What was the point then? Might as well just call this game We Didn't Give a Shit. You all know who Barbie is, just like who Shrek is, so I'm not gonna bother going into the history of Barbie. Barbie Explorer was developed by Runecraft, who only has 1 sentence on their Wikipedia page and published by Vivendi Universal Interactive Publishing. It was released for the PS1 in America on September 4th, 2001. Your logo FMV ran at 30 frames per second, and the opening FMV runs at 15 frames per second. You just did it half and half. Nice JPEG there. So you became an explorer because a mirror said so? Wonderful. Another Crash ripoff. Another one. Another one. Barbie's model does not look like Barbie at all. Are you an imposter? There are 4 worlds: African jungle, Tibet, Egypt, and Babylon? I've lost my mind at Babylon, a city that was back in the 19th century BC. When did Barbie go back in fucking time? First off, every time you collect a gem, this sound plays. That won't get annoying. Also, would you like to see Barbie get smacked by a monkey? Well, this is the game for you. She can also die by a fucking door. And these pits. Oh, these pits. Your jump is stationary, meaning that your jump can only be from one specific point. This makes jumping across pits and other obstacles extremely difficult, as the jump is also delayed. But what about the treasure you collect? Well, there's blue shield, red mask, green beetle, and a gold statue. Collect all 4 of these to complete the game, and once you complete it, the mirror will do some weird shit, and to be continued. Now we've hit the bottom of the barrel. VIP was a show that aired from 1998 to 2002 and starred Pamela Anderson. The show was created by J.F. Lawton, who wrote movies like Pretty Woman, Under Siege, and the Dead or Alive movie. Then some higher up at Ubisoft said, "Let's make this into a game!" That would be like making My Mother the Car into a game.
A 1928 court.
Worse, VIP was also developed by Ubisoft. The game starts with VIP getting called by Dr. Tyndall, whom is gang raided by a bunch of guys in suits and sunglasses. VIP goes to save this unknown doctor. This game is comprised of 3 minigames: press buttons, shoot with a crosshair, and match a line. That's the whole game. I didn't even bother finishing it due to how ridiculous the whole game tactic sounds. The first minigame is you have to tap buttons in the correct order in a limited amount of time. This can get tedious really fast. The second minigame is an arcade-style shooting game. The crosshair moves incredibly slow, and the easiest tactic you can do to beat this one is just spam the cross button. The third minigame is to just match the line using up and down on the D-pad, but the dot moves in at a limited amount of time, making it really hard to match it. On top of it all, there's a fucking time limit! So, to end this game off, here's a man falling out of a tree. Xena Warrior Princess was a spin-off fantasy TV series of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys that aired from September 4th, 1995 to June 18th, 2001. Both shows were produced by Sam Raimi of Evil Dead fame. And thus again, it got popular and you all know the drill. The video game was published by Electronic Assholes and developed by Universal Studios Digital Arts. The game was released on October 7th, 1999. Oh no, it's scary! Ominous black smoke in the background. It could only mean one thing. Now that's a main menu. This game is a hack and slash game where you fight hordes of enemies by spamming the cross button. You also pick up these scrolls as they can tell you information on what to do and completion bonus. Woohoo! There's also the chakra, which you can use by pressing R1 and X to bang enemies to death. So what was that smoke then? Pirates? Some levels, you have to rescue hostages by using your chakra at the enemies. There are also keys to open locked doors and health potions to restore health that's displayed on this sword. I didn't really complete the game, but all in all, the game's okay. It's not great, it's okay. This game was published by Telegames, who are known for shit, motherfucking shit, and developed by IVOAnimations, who are now known as Nordcurrent, aka the guys who made 101 Explosive Mega Mix. This game was released for the PS1 and Game Boy Advance.
And this is shit.
Are you serious? What is with the background? What is Santa? Who are you? What is it? Okay, maybe it'll get better. Hopefully? Wow, only one day left until Christmas. Thousands of little children are waiting for Santa Claus. Also, how many lens flares do you need? Meanwhile, very deep under the ground live a wicked fairy, Nilum. Moving on! She had a magic copper? Fuck it! She had a magic pot, which she could see everything that happens in the whole world. Oh, excuse me, happened. Today, when she looked into her pot, she saw Santa Claus packing presents for all the children in the world. She became furious. How can this happen? Screamed Nilum. I cannot let all the children in the world have presents. So Fairy Nilum enchanted Santa Claus and he is trapped in her magic lands. Only a few hours are left until Christmas. Help Santa Claus to escape from the magic lands. What does this have to do with saving the Earth? You're saving Christmas! So level 1 is a bunch of bricks. Okay, cool. No. 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 Just no. My god. Shrek Treasure Hunt is better looking than this, and I never thought I would be saying that. Even the front cover Santa looks much better than this. This was 2002! The PS2 was out 2 years that time and they made this! Why? The controls ain't any better. Santa moves incredibly slow, and the jump is very floaty, making it seem like at one moment you're flying and the next you're plummeting to the ground. The levels are huge mazes, making it easy to get lost in. For example, in one level, I was lost on where to go, so I went on for 40 to 50 minutes before I finally finished the level. What about the power-ups? There's tomatoes, snowballs, and worthless piece of shit. The green sack forces you backwards, making it incredibly hard to hit enemies on target. And the music. Nothing but a repetitive, looping, MIDI soundbite. The AI is unfair, most notably these yellow things, as they move incredibly fast and jump whenever you throw snowballs, making it very easy hits for them. And whenever you defeat an enemy, they get Thanos snapped and have a deflate sound. And why does Egypt keep popping up? Our first boss is a jester. This is insultingly easy. Did I also mention that every time you get a game over, you start from the beginning of the level? All in all, this game is the definition of garbage.
Oh yes, new cabin, I have it.
Metropolis Mania is a PS2 city building game developed by Indie and published by Medium Factory in Japan, Natsume in the Americas, known for Harvest Moon, and Ubisoft in Europe. The game is well known in Japan as Machi Ing Maker, and was released on September 27th, 2001. The game came over to the Americas and Europe a year later. Take a minute to realize the transition is improperly placed. 2002... ... Mankind is searching for a new hero. People no longer talk to each other. Everything is done by electronic technology. Talking has no meaning. Only electronic communication is important. People who cannot communicate are increasing. Superheroes can no longer save the world. Time for mankind is running out. Future Development Agency? The fuck is this? Did I just step into a 70s game show?
Welcome. You've been assigned a special duty.
Nice animations.
You will be introduced as a Metropolis Maker.
Ah, yes. I love when the world is full of nothing but bobbleheads. So this just became Chalk Zone, but with towns. I know what a cell phone is, okay? Well, first problem is right off the bat. Tank controls. This ain't fucking Resident Evil. The laws of dialogue do not matter here. This is literally SimCity, but worse. If you think I'm joking, play the game for yourself. Make a city, get people to join the city, blah blah blah, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less, that's the whole game. Next! America's 10 Most Wanted, or Fugitive Hunter, War on Terror in the US, is an FPS released on the PS2 and PC. Developed by Black Ops Entertainment, known for Treasures of the Deep on the PS1, and published by Play It in the UK and Encore Software in the US. This game centers around a CIFR agent known as Jake Seaver, who goes around to locations such as Utah, Paris, Miami, and Afghanistan as you hunt down the 10 most wanted fugitives in America. The game also has a scoring system. You're just trying to get to the end of the game. Why have a scoring system? Even for an FPS. And the intro to the game looks awful. The animations are slow and stiff, and this looks more like a late 90s game rather than a game released in 2004. You also best get used to your character speaking a lot, because he says things every fucking minute. Alright, time to capture... When did we switch game modes? Man, fighting never looks so good. Did I also mention that there's lives in this game? But why though? Let's just head on to the next one. I'm done with this shit. What the fuck is Hugo? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hugo is a media franchise that was started in Denmark in 1990. The concept was conceived by Ivan Solvassen, the founder of an initially very small video game studio by the name of Silver Rock Productions, and was the former editor-in-chief of Ober-OND Computer, a now defunct computer magazine in Denmark. He also created the interactive TV program Oswald in 1988 for Nordisk Films TV2 Denmark. Hugo was also conceived by Niels Krog Mortensen, an animator. Silver Rock, later renamed to Interactive Television Entertainment, or ITE, developed Hugo as well as the hardware system it would run on that would convert telephone signals into control commands that would move the character or make the character do a specific command. Hugo, the character, was actually invented by Mortensen while he was biking to his grandmother from Hellerup to Gladsaxe in the spring of 1990. The game show was aired on, again, TV2 Denmark during their block, Eleva Turen. The show was about Hugo, a small friendly troll who is 220 years old. The first season was just Hugo trying to grab treasure for unknown reasons. It wasn't until the second season that the ratings went through the roof. Hugo, now with his 180-year-old wife, Hugo Lena, and their kids, Rit, Rat, and Rut, aged 20 to 50, has to go and save his wife and kids after them getting captured by Skilla, an evil witch. It became an actual game with you having 3 lives trying to save your loved ones. And thus, as usual, it became a hit and merchandise was born. Agent Hugo is a reboot. I get that reboots are needed sometimes, but most of the times they come out as wretched. Look at Bionic Commando. Wife has a bionic arm!
Agent Hugo, sorry I have to disturb you on your first workday, but our radar has detected something mysterious.
Where are we? Why is the town filled with water? Why are we in a boat? Oh, take 1 acceleration and I get fucking dialogue. Oh my god. The controls are just something. Whenever you want to make a turn, you slide like you're on an ice skating rink, which then slams you into a wall. It's the first 30 seconds and I'm already hating this. We suddenly have a torpedo we have to take out, and I failed the first time because of the terrible drifting that made me hit cars and throw them right to oblivion. And even worse, whenever you fail, this sleazeball comes up onto the screen every goddamn time and says some stupid goddamn quote.
But a cool agent doesn't give up. We'll try again.
Alright, could you shut up?
Oh, it didn't work, but we'll just try again.
Could you...
Hey, back in the saddle.
Shut up! Shut up!
We'll try again.
He even says the same quote some of the times. I explode the torpedo, and now a cutscene?! Why couldn't you do this 4 minutes ago? These models look hideous. It looks like somebody just used Photoshop's Liquify in 3D. Also, prizes. They mean diddly squat. They're just a list for 100% completionists. We learn that Agent 01 has been kidnapped to Uptown. We get there and oh no, welcome to the Metal Gear Solid sections. You use these gas bombs to make the enemies stunned so you could sneak past them. You can also use these to hit buttons and switches. There are also costumes. They have no real convenience, unless you want to look like what the game is. And if you're caught, annoying dialogue. Again! Back to the beginning of the sneak segment. We find Agent 01 unconscious and escape from the army of bees! We get introduced to Dr. Grafenpinnick, who says he's not involved in any of this, even though he has fucking sodium chloride. We then learn of a criminal organization called Suspectra, who is behind all of this, as we have to hurry out of the harbor.
We lost that one, but we better try again.
After going through that bullshit and another sneak segment, we place a microphone next to here and learn of a double agent to which Mr. Asshole here thinks we're the double agent. And after so many attempts of boat deathmatch, we uncover Suspectra's secret headquarters and learn that Honey Bunny is the double agent. And after an hour of this, we save Grafenpinnick, who was captured earlier, go through an escape plan, which took me 50 minutes, Dr. No-Go takes the last crate of sodium chloride, and Agent 02 confesses that he was jealous because they had a new agent and everyone forgot about him. After we escape the trap of Dr. Shitty Pun, Honey Bunny joins back in Risk, and we kill Dr. No 10 minutes later. Dr. Pun is sent to prison, and the game tries to pinpoint a sequel, which was still shit. So, a game for the PS2 was developed by... I fucking hate you. Please enter your name. Yeah, I can't see the fucking letters. Okay, now you've done it. You did London Racer. Why did you have to do this one? The drifting in this game is delayed and very slippery, meaning you would have to tap the analog stick to get it to drift the right way. The ski mode is impossible to go in a straight line, as it would turn automatically, making you have to balance it in order to stay straight. And with delayed steering, it can conjure up some pretty bullshit moments. Turbo Boost is not really that great either. Sometimes you jump and sometimes you don't, so it makes it an RNG maneuver more than a reliable one. Medial scanning is just driving to that desired location and holding a button, but with interstitial scan, you have about 10 miles away from that specific object, making scanning tedious as all hell. I only did a few missions, sadly, as I find myself bored easily. The missions are having to destroy a getaway modified vehicle, scanning a camera to get evidence, then destroying another car, then another car, scanning another thing, and finally rushing back to the truck. And afterwards, I just turned off the game, cause, well, yeah, fuck this. The second London Racer. This time you play as the police. I didn't bother completing this one. Oh god, it's just like Knight Rider. But it can't be a carbon copy, can it? This is just Knight Rider the game, but with different textures! They just removed the ski mode and turbo boost, put in a recklessness bar, money, scoreboard, and even some shitty shooting minigame. You can't even get the lowest form of recklessness because of all the same problems with steering from Knight Rider. Hell, they even have the scanning bullshit. And oh, the boosts? They are the worst part. Boost and you go straight into an innocent civilian's car. There are missions to get a specific amount of pounds, arrest a specific amount of criminals, or do some other thing like get some fucking food to eat. Yeah, no! Ace Lightning was a British-Canadian children's television series co-produced by the BBC and Elias Atlantis, which, well, if you've seen this logo, you should know who they are. The series was created by Jim Corsten and Rick Sigelcole, and was one of the first uses of CGI mixed with live action. So basically speaking, it made these shitty abominations exist. Merchandise was made because you already know by now, and hence video game. But funnily enough, This would make sense, as the CGI characters came from a video game. Published by BBC Multimedia and developed by Game Z Lab, the story follows Ace Lightning as he traverses through the antagonist of the TV show, Lord Fear's Wacky Zappy Dappy, in search of the shattered pieces of the Amulet of Zor. And this is the main menu. Great stuff. So you were able to make the main menu nice, but not the cutscenes? What great fucking difficulty names. Clearly I know which ones are which. Nice 20 seconds of a piece flying. Oh dear god, this game also has tank controls. Behold, music that will make you go insane! Right off the bat, obstacles that have no purpose whatsoever. Jumping in this game is painful, as you have no depth perception on where you're going to land. The camera goes up like Bob the Pussycat 3D and then slams back to the ground. And the enemies? Well, there's a monkey, bodybuilder, an elephant, a lion, a boxing elephant. Wait, what? There are also power-ups such as double jump. Why did this need to be a power-up? Well, the enemies can't get any weirder, right? The lion shoots teeth and breathes fire. I can't. I'm just flabbergasted. What's weirder is that another weapon you have is your hand. And there's also sliding sections before the boss that go like this. No. No more. No more of this game. You should all know The Simpsons by now, and you should all know they have merchandise. Now, there are some good video games and some... thing. But this game in particular was developed by... the Code Monkeys. No! It was also published by Electronic Arts. Oh joy. The game was released on November 12th, 2002. Nice loading bar there. Oh, this remix is horrible. So the characters we have so far are Homer, Bart, Marge, and Lisa. I picked Bart. Well, at least they got the voice cast. Also, this game screams desperate, hip, and cool monologues. Well, for starters, the graphics look bland and ugly. You hold up on the control stick to move forward, making it easy for you to be launched to fucking Neptune in a matter of seconds. And there. What do I get? 10 cents. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know if I can go through all of this. I'm not fucking insane.
Well, what's the goal here? That's not even worth going for a whole skateboarding competition for. Even G4's Hurl had more money rewarded than this. After completing Skills School, we get the Tony Hawk formula of having multiple missions to do. Here's this mission where you have to collect various items, but this item right here has a problem. Timing with a curve that makes you jump, missing your chance. You have to be precisely perfect with the angle, otherwise you fall flat on your face. And the music sounds like stock music out of a 90s hip wave CD. Also, ever wanted to hear Kent Brockman say things every 10 seconds?
50-50 grind is not your friend. Nose grind.
And after so many tries of trying to complete one mission, I went to get the board. Guess where it was? Fuck this! Little Britain was a British sketch comedy series that began as a radio show in 2000 and created, written, and performed by David Williams and Matt Lucas. Financed by the BBC, the radio series first came on BBC Radio 4, with the TV series airing on BBC 3 and later BBC 1. It became a hit and blah blah blah, you know the drill. The video game was published by Mastertronic Games under their Blast Entertainment label and developed by Gamerholics and GameSauce. This game dared to ask the question, what would it be like doing gross humor that isn't funny to 13-year-olds and went off the chart with disgust? Our first character is Vicky, and she needs your help collecting CDs and doing tricks with buttons you would have to screenshot with your phone to remember. Each time you complete a minigame, a clip from the show plays, which is a lot funnier than this fucking game. The next character is Lou and Andy, and this minigame has you spamming a button to get to a diving board, pressing L1 on that specific diving board, and doing tricks by pressing random buttons. Then there's Marjorie?
I love cake.
Go.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's Pac-Man, but with biscuits and cake! When you get the fucking cake, you have the instant power to talk non-stop. Letty's minigame has you trying to kill frogs with the worst hitting system ever, and trying to also not hit her valuable frog merchandise. Emily and Florence have their minigame be a shitty version of soccer. This one took longer than any other minigame in this whole entire game. This minigame took an hour to do. Then comes Maggie and Judy. This is fucking columns! But every time you clear a line, she has to be desperate to say the name of every food here.
Gingerbread man, cake, jam, cherry pie.
Daffy Thomas is the last minigame, and you skate to gather copies of the game magazine, and you know what? Fuck this game! Smarties, for those who don't know, are candy made by Nestle reminiscent of M&M's. They are mostly known in the UK and Europe, but people do know of them in the Americas and Canada. They got their own game called Smarties Meltdown, published by Koch Media under their Europress label, and developed by EM Studios. Dr. Soursweet wants to take over the Smarties factory in order to sell his own candy, Stroopers. You play as Big Blue, a runaway Smartie who got into some high-tech suit and being voiced by Dave Benson Phillips, who is well known in the UK for being the presenter of Playhouse Disney and Fun Song Factory, as well as the host of the CBBC game show Get Your Own Back. First of all, the character models are nightmare fuel. Just look at this enemy and you would know why. Second, other than a few tiny death traps, the game is unbelievably easy. There are strange lighting spots that don't make any sense to be there at all, a very bland soundtrack that seems like they used the Ultimate Kids Music soundtrack CD, and wasted the voice talent of Dave Benson Phillips. At least Dr. Soursweet sounds decent, though.
Please let this be good. Fuck you!
Published by Blast Entertainment and developed by Atomic Planet Entertainment, this game was released in 2006 and was only available in Europe. Okay, first things first. This looks like a badly budgeted N64 game. Well, the mission failed. This looks nothing like Axel Folly! Were they really that low on budget that they had to find the cheapest fucking model and slap him as Axel Folly? This is the lowest form of I don't give a shit that you could get! There's also other things you can find in a horrible game, such as bad hit detection, terrible animations, horrendous AI, poor gameplay, and lazy level design. This game has all of them. Plus, there's no voice acting. It's just subtitles. This game claims it has the feature of making your choice to change the game's outcome, but instead it's more like spin a wheel to get a random dialogue so that in the end it wouldn't even fucking matter. And I went through the whole first level killing all the bad guys by crouching and shooting. The PS2 is known for using DVDs instead of CDs, and Beverly Hills Cop the game used backwards ass logic and went with CDs instead. What? How? Why? This is the PS2, not the PS1. Better yet, let's just make it on a cartridge for the PS2. We don't give a shit. That was disgraceful. What's next? The Wii? I'll get my Wiimote. M&M's Kart Racing is a licensed racing game for the Nintendo DS and Nintendo Wii. The game was developed by Frontline Studios in co-production with Calaris Studios, both being based in Poland. The game was published in the US by DSi Games and in the UK by Zoo Digital Publishing. Welcome to Wii Hell. How may I help you? Ah yes. Silence on the loading screen. My favorite. Can we also take a moment to look at the loading text on the loading screen? It's Comic fucking Sans. Well, this is the most generic music I've ever heard. Back in the old days, we used to have blocky N64 models on the Wii. The controls are unresponsive. One turn and you would be sent straight into a pole. You can also see how stretched the textures are. We have the occasional annoying announcer.
Approaching sound barrier!
And if you're going to use the license, at least use it in other places other than just crates and trucks slapped with a logo on it. The camera angles are also infuriating to deal with. Because of the horrible camera angles, you would have no idea on where to go. The track names are just the, and then after it's some random location. And they just seem bland and generic. The AI is so bad that as soon as I got to the finish line in some races, it would take them 30 more seconds to get to the finish line. Even if I crashed into a bunch of obstacles, I would end up first. It's just characters set on a specific path at a specific speed to the finish line 3 times. And they would sometimes go faster than me when I'm going down a hill or up one, because the developers didn't care how the physics of a car worked. Well, let's check out arcade mode then. Get a specified number of currency, then reach to finish the move on. And what currency do you get? Chocolate coins. Spogs Racing is a racing video game published by D2C Games and developed by Pronto Games for WiiWare. Remember that? Nintendo's indie game service for the Wii? WiiWare used to be all over the place in Nintendo Week. Dark Gary remembers. This was the trailer for Spogs Racing. And this is the game. Man, I love it when your start screen is a JPEG. Well, let's just start this. Oh boy, it's all coming back. This is a game I used to have on my old Wii. I spent money for this back then. First of all, the graphics are fucking horrendous. This was the Wii, and it looks more like Cruisin' USA every time I see it. Cruisin' USA was 14 years old when this game came out. And this song is the only song in the game. Nothing else. The menus and interface look like a shitty PowerPoint project for high school. This was a game released on WiiWare, may I remind you. Eminem's kart racing even had music in the races. This is fucking baffling. What was the budget for this? 5 cents? The AI is inconsistent. You could be far in the lead, but in the next minute they could be driving off to fucking Narnia. And you drive as slow as a truck. This is a racing game, and you're not even going fast, which defeats the purpose of it being a racing game. And what the fuck is a SPOG? After searching on Google, it apparently stands for Sports Player Object Gyros. And what's with this damage bar? You get eliminated if it goes all the way to 0 and crappy yellow text pops up. Fuck this. Another racing game? Who made this? Oh god. Oh god! No! Published by Conspiracy Entertainment and developed by Fuck You, Action Girls Racing was released in 2005 for the PS2 and PC, and in 2007 for the Nintendo Wii. They were also gonna make a PSP port, but it was cancelled. I wonder why. Here's the stupid part. The back of the cover exclaims that it was designed by girls for girls, which, if you couldn't guess, is a fucking lie. They just made pseudonyms of female names and slapped it as their own, even though they were men. Even a guy who later worked on No Man's Sky did the audio production for this. Look at this list of characters. Well, let's just head into the game.
God damn it!
This track is just so cramped that you could just get squeezed and not go anywhere until every car drove off. Hit one thing and you would go from first to last in a matter of seconds. This is how bad the collision detection is. Your car would go flying. The camera is too close, making for easy last place traps and wall hits. The controls are so sensitive that one turn and you would crash into a brick wall at the speed of sound. The frame rate is sluggish, as it usually goes 30 FPS at one point, but then it would go suddenly at 15. The sound effects are sounds that I could find on a stock footage website, and the visuals had no care or effort put into it, just like this entire game. And the music. The worst part is that, like Beverly Hills Cop on the PS2, this game was printed on a CD for the PS2. Again, this was 2005! We come to another licensed game, this time the game show Deal or No Deal. This game was developed by Black Lantern Studios and published by Zoo Games. It was released on January 20th, 2009. That A and B button image is just like, do it! Do it now! Let's start off with the TV show.
Hello and welcome to Deal or No Deal.
Are you okay, Howie?
You look different.
The audience is soulless. They have no eyes. That's disturbing. Why does every model in this fucking game look creepy as shit? I swear the clown from It or the Demogorgon from Stranger Things is gonna pop out of my TV screen at any second.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, Howie.
Don't ever say that again. I'm the only non-scary person in this whole room. I'm gonna go with lucky number 13. Each round, you have a specified number of cases to open, with the case either being a low number or a high number. You do not want the high number, as it would mean there goes your million. At the end of each round, the banker calls and offers you less or more money than what's in the case in order to purchase that case. I got $300 and a trophy that makes me look like an asshole. There is also a 2-player mode where one person could play as the banker and try to take the money that's in your case. I got $1,000 by winning at a minigame, while the other player got $1 million. I also got a trash can as a trophy.
Are you enjoying this?
Oh boy. We're back to our old chums at Data Design. People consider this one to be the worst game on the Wii. This looks like the same menu as Action Girls Racing, but this time with the game in the background. What? Dedicated to... the hardworking team that pulled together and made this happen. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you for making me suffer. This guy right here serves as the reaction for this whole game. Utter disapproval. I hate your pun. Alright, nunchuck stick to move, Z button, or moving the nunchuck up to jump. Okay, motion controls to slash enemies and shoot targets. Alright, we have a shit control setup. Wonderful. In the tutorial level, you have to get these scrolls and... oh. I love a glitch when I see one. Man, this camera is ass. Get stuck and the camera would just go all over the place. The graphics ain't better, as it's your typical Data Design romp. The difficulty of the game is that... yeah, there's no difficulty. There's no story either. Nor ending, as completing the 3rd level sends you right back to the title screen. Did I forget to mention that there's only 3 levels in the entire game? I beat it in an hour only to get no reward whatsoever. Fuck you! Oh boy. Now we get to the movie games. Balls of Fury was a comedy movie that was a stinker. So naturally, somebody made a game out of it. The game was published by DSI Games, known for... shit. And developed by Black Lantern Studios. Fire that dissolves with each shot. Nothing wrong with that. This is the blandest way to make cutscenes that I have ever seen. Why not just throw in movie clips? You couldn't get the rights? Bullshit! So these... things sum up the whole plot of the movie. There's barely anyone here. How is this the Olympics when there's only 3 people? These models. They don't look like the characters from the movies. They look like generic PlayStation Home models, but with less graphics and just given wigs and poor textures. I hit that ball. I hit it. The hit detection is horrendous. When it looks like you hit the ball, it doesn't count. It has to be slightly off for it to count as a hit. How does that work? Oh yeah, and these moves, they break the game. These special moves make the physics wonky and unrealistic to the point I'd rather play actual ping pong. The animation on the models look like they are robots disguised as humans. Next thing you know, it's suddenly a Terminator game, but with ping pong. Oh, alright, now I'm fighting the Old Spice body wash guy.
Blow it out your ass.
Okay. Do you say anything else?
Blow it out your ass.
Shut up.
Blow it out your ass.
Shut up!
Blow it out your ass.
Shut up! Sid the Dummy is an adventure game developed by 12 Games and published by Oxygen Games for the PS2, PSP, Windows, and a Nintendo Wii. It was released on April 17th, 2009 in the UK and July 7th, 2009 in the US. SID actually means Crash Impact Dummy, which makes the title say dummy twice. Never knew this game was made by a bunch of idiots. This title's scream music. It sounds similar. I feel like I've heard this before.
Sure. Hey! Here we go again.
I'm already starting to hate this character.
That's it. He's the one.
Now this voice. This voice is like hearing a nasally, high-pitched voice of Pee Wee Herman. I like it when my backgrounds are nothing more than a JPEG of a city.
Sid, are you okay? That was quite a pull.
This looks like an unreleased PS1 game. Oh dear God. This game came out in 2009! The Wii version also had the addition of motion controls. And as most of the shovelware games for the Wii, it just makes it worse. The slight movement of the Wii remote makes Sid punch even when I don't want him to. Sid also has a bazooka, which you have to hold A and act like it's behind your back. This control maneuver doesn't always work as most of the time, Sid just punches. Sid also has stealth moves, which is pointless as you could just run past things you need to go past.
That looks fun.
Ha, but you can't make a great game!
My old friend, what have you done to me?
Oh boy, this sounds familiar. An evil scientist and a good scientist make robots using a system, but one gets irritated as the other one has been using the system for other things and retaliates by stealing the good scientist's daughter. The good scientist makes a gun-wielding robot to get his daughter back and stop the evil doctor. Oh gee golly two-shoes, I wonder if I've heard that before. Now I'm playing a cheap knockoff, alright, cool. I also like when my game has an opening of 5 minutes. And now Sid is driving a car. Oh boy, and I'm dead. Yeah, screw this game.
Well, are you guys ready for the GameCube?
American Chopper is a reality TV show that is, surprisingly, still on the air on Discovery Channel. The show is produced by PILGRIM Films and Television. They made shows such as Ghost Hunters, Full Metal Jousting, and my favorite, Only in America with Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay.
And for this show, Activision put out 2 games. American Chopper, developed by Activision Value, and the one we're looking at, American Chopper 2 Full Throttle, developed by Kreyowitz Studios. Oh boy, I'm getting Balls of Fury vibes. Vroom vroom, motherfuckers. Let's check out missions first.
You sure you know how to handle this bad boy?
Alright, punk. Time to set the record straight and show you I still got it in me.
I'm sad. You called me a punk. Paul Jr. placed ironware items along the tunnel. Yeah, there's a high chance a car could run over them and their tires could be flattened. Prove you're still in good shape and collect 160 points. After that, go see Paul Jr. to race against him. Paul Jr. will appear on your map when you pick up enough items. Okie dokie, artichoke pepperoni. Well, first things first. Stiff steering. Try getting all these items without tapping the A button. You'll crash once, even twice. After many times, I'm racing Paul Jr., and I finished with him being way far behind. Now we have to stop a thief by following him without having this bar go 100%. This game does have some good music though, and the controls seem reasonable. In some of the missions, however, it can be a bit confusing on where to go.
You sound exactly the same.
And I threw it on the ground.
I threw it on the ground and broke it. That's how mad I am. I crashed the dude and stole his transmission. It's mine now, you fucking piece of shit. Time to customize the bike. This is boring. I had more fun customizing in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts than this.
But my father gets all bent out of shape if he thinks you're screwing off. And frankly, I wasn't in the mood for it.
So how are we gonna fix this issue? Disarm all explosive before time runs out? Okay, what the hell? And as I was playing the final part of Paul Jr., my game froze. Space Raiders is a 2002 remake. God fucking damn it. I expect the worst. Space Raiders is a 2002 remake of the original 1978 Space Invaders arcade game from its creators. The game was reimagined, or in my terminology, refucked, for the 6th generation home consoles, mainly the PS2 and the GameCube, with the PS2 version only being in Japan and Europe. Developed by Taito Corporation and published in the US by Mastiff and in the UK by Sammy Corporation, this game, much like the rest of this list, is a steaming pile of mama's bullshit-os. Autoload failed? Does it look like I give a shit?
Taito.
It spoke. I love it when my cutscenes run at 10 FPS and then go back to 30 FPS all of a sudden. And the audio sounds like it's dying. Also, why is there a pointless shower scene? You take control of either one of the three characters, Justin, Ashley, or Naji. All of them have terrible voice acting.
Hey, wake up! Whoa!
Fun. Nothing screams Space Invaders than this. Shooting bugs in a destroyed city. And you have infinite continues. So guess what that means? You spam A to win! Rinse and repeat. There's also bosses like a giant monster with a handgun, a giant plant alien with 4 plants as tentacles, a giant blob of whatever the fuck this is, and a giant robotic hermit crab.
Giant enemy crab.
This leads up to you infiltrating the UFO via an army jet, and finding out that the final boss in this game is a giant totem robot with your character's voice. Once again, this is the reimagining of Space Invaders. Does any of what I said remind you of this? And they tried setting us up for a sequel. Yeah, it never happened. I fucking wonder why. Disney Party is a game made for the GameCube and developed by Neverland Co. and published by Electronic Ass in the US and Europe, and Hudson Soft in Japan. Wait, Hudson? The developers who made Mario Party? The fuck? Neverland is known for the Lufia series, so who knows? Maybe it'll be decent.
Thanks, everybody!
I take it back! The game is different from the other games that are in the party game category. The modes are Game Board mode, Play in Pairs, Minigame mode, and Free Pass. The story goes as follows. Scrooge McDuck has come up with a competition set in an amusement park comprising of several islands. Scrooge sent 6 invitations to Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, and a character made specifically for this game, Billy the Ghost. I played as Billy. The game is set on a game board, but not just any game board, a bingo game board. You go around each island trying to pick up pieces and set them on your game board. The game ends whenever you reach the number of lines you need. Each island has a leader, and on one of the squares, the leader gets a gift of some sort, whether it be crystals or power notes. Crystals are used as currency to buy items to put on your game board, and power notes are used to improve your own ability in a minigame. The minigames can range from don't die bungee jumping to finding the correct silhouette. They can be very generic, and they don't really add to the game's overall experience. There are also special spaces and spaces that move you to the next island. After we get bingo, we go up the almighty rainbow to the final minigame that decides it all. And what is that final minigame? A DDR clone. Alright, cool, well, that's just fine. What was all that shit before then? This minigame just makes what we did utterly pointless! And then, just like the bonus stars, we get awarded bonus points. I lost. Aquaman Battle for Atlantis is a 2003 action-adventure game developed by Lucky Chicken Games and published, once again, by TDK Media Active. Lucky Chicken also made Battle Tanks for the Game Boy Color. Basically, their whole lineup is full of licensed material. It is based on Peter David's interpretation of the DC Comics character, a redesign that gained notoriety because of Aquaman's left hand having a detachable hook instead. The game hit store shelves on July 23rd, 2003, after being in development for 1 year. It received craving scores such as a 27 out of 100 on Metacritic. This is nice. Oh god! Oh, get the bleach! And to be expected, the cutscenes play out in comic panels. Only more horrific as they use the in-game models. And this song This is the only thing you'll hear with the cutscenes. You could have just done animation. You could have drawn out art. No. Let's do it like freeze frame food fight. It'll be fine.
Oh my fucking god!
I see where your budget went now. I'm serious. This is Superman 64 controls. You control like a car. The A button is to go and the control stick is to move your character. At least you're not flinging yourself all over the place. Also, did I mention that this version of Aquaman lost his left hand to piranhas? It's like Piranha 2: The Spawning, directed by James Cameron, but with Aquaman. And to fight, you just punch. In the first level, you swim a deserted city that is supposed to be Atlantis and punch bad guys to save mermaids that give you glitchy A symbols. They're meant to represent power-ups, but some of them you just can't even pick up. Also, there's combos. Did you have to? Aquaman also has this awesome move. Check it out. I can't. Just no. Every level is either spam the B button or shitty Star Fox. There's also this level where you have to disarm bombs. Yep, this is Superman 64 but underwater. Fucking great. And remember when I said that the song from the cutscene is the only song you'll hear there? I was wrong. It plays throughout the entire game. What? Who? Why? What's the point? After getting to the second boss of the game, I quit playing. There was nothing more to it, so why bother? Shrek Super Slam is a fighting game featuring characters from, obviously, the Shrek franchise. The game was developed by Shaba Games and published by Activision. The game was released on October 25th, 2005 in North America and November 18th, 2005 in the UK. It's a Power Stone clone. Out of all things, Power Stone? Anyways, the story goes like this. Shrek and friends were gonna watch some random TV show when the dronkies just wouldn't go to sleep. They just stay up playing Pitfall for the Atari 2600. How the fuck is that possible? Shrek recommends them reading a bedtime story, which, well, was burned to the pits of hell. And thus, the first story is the Wild Wild West, where Puss in Boots eats cookies and milk and what the fuck?
Okay.
This just feels like the staff had the best time of their fucking lives. That's what I like about this. Let's see what the gameplay is like now. The controls feel a little wonky, but not too much. The graphics are all good for the time. The attacks and even the slam ones have different effects and range to it, and it feels nice to really play. I'm surprised. This game is actually quite fun. The other stories are very silly as well, such as Donkey and a Cops parody, Gingerbread Man in an MTV Cribs parody, and Pinocchio in a fast food ride-through. The story mode ends with the Dronkies fast asleep, and Shrek and Co. leave them to sleep until Shrek breaks the fourth wall, yells at the narrator, and oh no. And then comes the best credit sequence I've ever seen. This game was good. It wasn't the best fighting game I've ever played, but it's one that should be checked out. MC Groove's Dance Craze is a game published by third-party controller scoundrels Mad Cats and developed by Broadsword Interactive. Songs in the game ranged from people such as Earth, Wind & Fire, Jessica Simpson, and Casey and the Sunshine Gang, and the game itself was bundled with the Mad Catz Beat Pad accessory. It's a DDR clone. What more can I say? It's a shitty DDR clone. Next! Universal Studios Theme Park Adventure is a game developed by Digital Works and published by Kemco, who are known for Batman Dark Tomorrow and Daikatana for the N64. This game was used to promote Universal Studios Japan's opening, which happened on March 31st, 2001. This game came out in Japan on December 7th, 2001, in North America December 18th of the same year, and in PAL regions May 3rd of the following year. Apparently we're playing Universal Studios Alone in the Dark version. The graphics look fine though. They represent the park pretty well, but my problem is these are just JPEGs in the background, while in the foreground are these monstrosities. Also, this game has the fixed camera mechanism, meaning you have no idea what's in front of you or where to go. May I remind you that this was 2001? Fucking hell, let's just get on the ride. And there's a line? Great. Well, how do I get in the fucking line? Woody Woodpecker's forcing me to pick up garbage, put them in trash cans, and then use the points to buy hats to get into the ride. Where do I even find a trash can? Really? This is fun, right? So finally, a ride. Oh, fucking mini games! Jaws, throw barrels at a shark. E.T., ride your bike to the end while falling over like a goddamn lunatic. Back to the Future, destroy the other DeLorean, an arcade-style racer. Backdraft, save people in the burning building. Jurassic Park, fucking rail shooter. Plus a quiz. No, I don't need fucking trivia. Alright, I got every bloody stamp. Just give me the fucking ending. Charlie's Angels is a beat-em-up game developed by Neko Entertainment and published by Ubisoft, who also published a game we heard of earlier. The game is based off of the movies of the same name, which in turn is based on the 1976 series of the same name, and was probably used to coincide with Full Throttle, as the game came out around the same time as the movie on July 4th, 2003. The movie came out days before the game. Oh man, featuring the all-star cast of Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore? That's shocking? This game was critically panned, with the official PlayStation magazine giving the developers the trophy of the lowest score they ever put for a game. A 1 out of 10. Oh shit, copyright music, quick skip!
Skip before YouTube demonetizes my video!
Well, alright, we begun- what? What? Are you fucking serious? I'm already starting to regret this game.
New Yorkers woke up this morning only to discover this.
Now this voice acting in this game is beautiful here. So our first mystery is to go investigate a nearby cargo ship by signing up for a bikini contest nearby.
Access to the ship. And once we get aboard...
They've done acting before! Why is it so bad? Well, let's just get oh god! Please, leave me alone! Fine, I'll fight you then! That's the sound when this angel gets hurt. A moan. I just... no. So the ending is literally capturing this guy and that's it. Fuck this then! Bad Boys Miami Takedown is a third-person shooter game based on the action-comedy movie Bad Boys 2. Developed by Blitz Games, known for Fusion Frenzy, and published by Empire Interactive and Crave Entertainment, this game centers around the two main characters of the Bad Boys series, Detective Lieutenant Marcus Burnett and Detective Lieutenant Michael Eugene Mike Lowry, going against a drug lord named Tulio Mendoza and a Russian businessman named Akimov. It was released in early 2004 after the film's release on DVD and VHS. This is the menu, which is a lot more effort than the shit we're about to be pulled into. And thus, tutorial level! Finally begin the story mode, and one of our other agents is put in between a dogfight against the enemies. Another game with tank controls. Ugh! Fucking hell! You use the right stick to aim and the left stick to move, but you have to aim pinpoint precisely on the target in order to kill these fuckers. So in retaliation, this is what I did. See that meter on the right? Yeah, that tells you if you got good or bad. Does it look like I give a shit? And what about Marcus? He controls the same. Yeah, what'd you fucking expect? Alright, here's the... bossu? This boss is stupid. All you do is sim one area, hitting him every 10 seconds for about 15 attempts. Fun. And the cutscenes, they do not look good at all. The models all look like PS1 models, and they just don't look clean and fit for the GameCube at all. Well, the third stage. Oh, I died. I'm back at the beginning. There's no checkpoints! Yeah, fuck this then, and fuck you too! Shrek Extra Large is a port of the Xbox game Shrek, both developed by Digital Illusion CE or DICE. That DICE? The ones who made Battlefield? What the fuck? The game was published by motherfucking dick-sucking assholes! TDK Media Active. I sense something brewing here. Extra Large uses the same engine as the Xbox original, but with an altered story and different levels. Also, this game is rated T for teen. This is the title screen. I hope you're all ready for a ride here. So the story is that Shrek wakes up one day only to find a goblin in his bed and Princess Fiona kidnapped by Merlin. Merlin wants Shrek to defeat the Ice Queen, but in reality, he's an evil bitchaloid. Shrek has to go around doing good deeds in order to reach Merlin's castle and punch him in the dick. Also, isn't it funny that halfway through the fucking game, Merlin helps you find the armor to defeat him when he's the fucking villain? Various tasks are needed to do in order to move forward, such as kick prisoners free out of a window, stop a dancing cow by farting in its face, and get Hansel and Gretel to a house made of cookies. After a ton of filler, the CERN dragon gives you Merlin's crystal ball, and then you go to kick Merlin's ass. The graphics are terrible. They're a real downgrade to what the Xbox game showed with the bump mapping they did. Plus, Shrek looks like a kid who ate too much candy. Did I mention on the cover Donkey is there, and Lord Farquaad is shown in one of the game's menus, but they're not in the game itself? The missions themselves are awful. The best example is the Hansel and Gretel one. They constantly fall off the tree branch, making you start all over again and moving inch by inch. And oh, the sound they make.
Cookies!
Yes! I get it! You want fucking cookies! Shut up! The wall jump is also another really bad factor. The moment you wall jump, you go flying like fucking Peter Pan in the opposite direction. Oh, and the ending. You defeat Merlin by killing his little invisible clones, and then what happens? Nice. Woohoo, yay! And now Merlin is trapped as Shrek and Fiona's pet. Great ending, guys, 10 out of 10. I'm honestly disappointed at DICE. Rather than just improve the quality of the game, they decreased it and made the game even worse. The design is bland and dead, the gameplay is broken and incohesive, the story is scattered and messy, the frame rate is jittery, and the only thing going for this game is Todd fucking McFarlane, who did some of the character designs for this game. These are the people who made Mirror's Edge and fucking Battlefield, and they made this? This is the game that fucking broke me. Fuck this game. This was by DICE. The people who made Battlefield. I'm scared to play this one again. When I was a kid, I hated this game, and now's the time that I try to conquer my fear. Bionicle the video game is an action-adventure game based on the Bionicle toy line. A toy line I loved it growing up as a kid. You can mix and match different parts to make different characters such as the masks, and it really felt unique and charming. I also remember watching the movie Bionicle Mask of Light, which was a pretty good movie. This game is based on parts of that direct-to-DVD movie, with other parts being from the Bionicle storyline. One of the key factors which made Bionicle a success for LEGO. Now, the developer of this game is a special one. This game was developed by Argonaut Games, the same people who helped with the Super Effects chip and Star Fox for the SNES, as well as Croc, Legend of the Gobos. Unfortunately, Electronic Arts published this, and we all know how well they are. Let's just get to the opening cinematic. The game starts out with a play about the Toa, even though they're the only ones in the audience. Suddenly, Takua!
Something is chasing me. You have to stop it!
Yeah, the voice acting is laughably terrible. Cheap voice acting for the win! So Gally suggests that they split up and spiral transition. Nice PS1 graphics you got there. Well, we got the typical run and jump. What else can I do? Lasers. So I'm the Fire Toa. I'm supposed to be doing cool fire stuff. Why am I shooting lasers? Oh, excuse me, it's energy. In order to gain energy, you use the shield at the exact moment at the exact time. Wanna know what I did? I spammed the button. Oh man, repetitive sound design, my favorite. There are also elemental mask energy collectibles that you collect to regain your energy. But regaining energy is done so easily that these collectibles just become pointless. The other collectibles are light stones. They act like coins to unlock bonus material, which is a weird choice since they're technically flashlights. So what we gotta do on this level is save 5 Matarin, even though they're all green and not red. The confusing part is that you can see a blue one in one of the cutscenes and a red one whenever you pick a Matarin up. I got to the first boss fight, and this one I was stuck on as a kid. Thankfully, I beat it. Tahu picks up a Krana that does something to his mind, and we never bring that up again. Next level, we go Ricky Winterborn mode to collect another Krana, because apparently that's Makuta's weakness. Oh, and they turned Toa Nuva out of nowhere. We didn't give a shit. Gali can smash by charging her energy and then slamming the ground. The problem with that is, again, it's pointless. You don't even need to rescue every Mataran either, so it's just a time waster. Next is the Toe of Stone, Pahuta. You play him for around 30 seconds until the Sun minecart section. We complete the stone level and... why was that level there to begin with then? Now I'm Onua, Toa of Earth. Time to push rocks. I can't even push them correctly. Pushing rocks is tedious, as if you push one, you slide off the edge. So in order to push one to the target, you need to point at the exact target directly. So another pointless mechanic to add to the list of pointless mechanics. This section is bullshit. The only way to get through these things is by running past them in the slightest time frame. They look like they could have been stunned in order to walk past them, but no. They just resorted to bullshittery. The next boss is to push these stones through these air cannons that hurt one of the Rakshi. Getting all of the pipes leads to... oh, he's dead. And thus we never bring it up ever again. And another filler level starring Lua. This level is the longest out of all the levels. A level that has no impact on the story. Lua's gimmick is gliding. There are 2 problems with this mechanic. 1, the camera fucking sucks, making your landing seem uncertain, and 2, you can't even cancel your flight, making for bullshit death after another. And sometimes the glide doesn't even fucking work at all. But oh boy. This segment shows all the flaws with the game design. You have to fly behind this bird, which makes you go faster. If you dare stray from the path and mistake a sharp turn, you're fucking dead. Meaning you have to go through all that bullshit again. The next level has Tahu going lava surfing in order to win a race against this bitch who has stolen the Mask of Light. This level is a bitch in and of itself. The difficulty went through the roof. I kept crashing into rocks and dying a lot. It was infuriating. So when you finally beat that fucking level, he dies for reasons. And Takua becomes Takanuva and hence begins Star Trek Warp. Now we're off to fight Makuta. Get ready to fucking die. Takanuva shoots 2 lasers. Still ain't better, hotshot. The second phase of this boss is to jump on these platforms in order to lower Makuta's shield and bounce his attacks with your shield back at him. We beat Makuta, they fuse, and... that's it? That's the game? The sad part is, yeah, that is the game. Initially, every Toa Nuva, and even the Toe of Light would have been playable. But due to deadlines, they were scrapped. But the real question is, do I think Bionicle is the worst game I've ever played? Shockingly, no, I don't think Bionicle is the worst game I've ever played. At least Shrek Super Slammin' that are better than any of the shit I went through in this video. I am done! Finally get me out of here!
Giant enemy crab.
Oh man. Now it's time to procrastinate even more. What day is it?